Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day. And today we're going to be talking about my Houston Astros 2024 MLB trade deadline predictions. I'm going to be going over two trades that I'd like to see the Astros make. So it's not just a prediction, but it's also kind of what I like to see the Astros do on the trade deadline, which is July 30th. A little bit less than a week away now, 5 days away. So Astros have some needs that they need to improve on going into the deadline. Last year, what was a little bit of a need was pitching, getting a starting pitcher, getting a relief pitcher, and that's what the Astros did. They gave up Corey Lee and they gave up Drew Gilbert and another prospect in order to get Kendall Graveman and Justin Verlander. So far, those trades haven't really panned out for the Astros just because the fact that if you look at what has happened with Kendall Graveman, they gave up Corey Lee, and Kendall Graveman came in with the Astros, pitched pretty solid in the regular season, was not available in the postseason, and is out for the season this year, has not pitched for the Astros at all. I wouldn't say the Justin Verlander trade hasn't panned out for the Astros because Justin Verlander has been very solid when he has been able to pitch, but he has not been healthy. And so that's a problem. And we gave up some really, really good prospects to get Justin Verlander. The Astros gave up Drew Gilbert. They gave up Sean Clifford, Ryan Clifford. So the Astros gave up two really nice outfield prospects to get Verlander. He hasn't really been healthy this year. He's been okay with staying healthy this year, but recently he's been injured for a while, and so there's no really timetable when he will return. So that's been a problem. Now Verlander was solid in the postseason last year, has been good this year when he has pitched, but he hasn't recently been able to pitch. So last year's deadline wasn't great by Dana Brown and the Astros, but can the Astros switch that up this year? There are two trades I want to see the Astros make where they really improve the roster, and let's get into it. So like I said, last year the improvement where the Astros needed was starting pitching and relief pitching. Now the Astros relief pitching, they really don't. They could use some relief pitching. They don't need as much as they do last year, though, as they did last year. They still need starting pitching, but now they need a first baseman. So we'll see where the Astros go with that. And I'm going to start off with the first baseman because there's so many names that the Astros have been linked to at first base. Vladdy, Pete Alonso, Christian Walker, but the most recent one is of the Tampa Bay Rays, Isaac Paredes. I'm going to go over that. In 2024, Isaac Paredes has played 98 games. He has 356 at-bats. He's scored 40 runs with 89 hits, 19 doubles, 16 home runs, 55 RBIs, 49 walks, barely strikes out at 68, batting average of 250, OPS of 800. I love Big John Singleton, but those numbers are a lot better than John Singleton, and Isaac Paredes is way more consistent than John Singleton is. So what would it take to get Isaac Paredes on this roster? Because he is under contract for not only this, of course, the rest of this season, but then I think next year and then the season after that. I know he's under contract. He's not going into free. He's not a free agent until the 2027 free agency, I believe, or 2028 free agency. It's either one. But I know the Astros will have him under contract for 2 more years after this season if they get him. So here's what I could see the Astros giving up, and here's what I'd like for the Astros to give up for Isaac Paredes. And I think this is a fair offer. Let's start off with the first player that would go to the Tampa Bay Rays, and that is Shea Whitcomb. Shea Whitcomb is ranked as the 29th overall prospect for the Houston Astros. But to be fair, he's a lot better than a 29th overall prospect. And this is why I hate to talk about ranked prospects, because it only updates 1 year. It updates before the season starts for the minor leagues and the major leagues, and I think it should update more. I'd like to see it. I would say for me, I'd like to see it update every month. Maybe a little more realistic for it to update every 2 months or every 3 months. But Shea Whitcomb has played way better than a 29th best prospect. He's 25 years old. Also want to add that he plays a lot all over the infield, but mainly plays shortstop, which is a position the Tampa Bay Rays need the most with the Wander Franco situation. But let's go over his stats. In AAA this year, he has a batting average of 300. His on-base percentage is almost 400. He has an OPS of 911. He has played 90 games with 344 at-bats, 63 runs scored, 101 hits, 17 doubles, 2 triples, 20 home runs in not only 90 games, 77 RBIs, 47 walks, 80 strikeouts, doesn't strike out often, and 24 stolen bases for Shea Whitcomb. So that'd be the first player to go to the Tampa Bay Rays. Now the other is a top 10 prospect, or almost top 5 prospect, who has pitched phenomenal this year with the Astros minor league team, and that is A.J. Bluebaugh. A.J. Bluebaugh this year in 2024, AA and AAA, has a 7-2 record with a 3.97 ERA. He has played in 18 games, 15 game starts, 79 innings pitched, 82 hits given up, 7 home runs, 33 walks, 74 strikeouts, and a very young player as well for him. 24 years old, was just drafted in 2022. And he's not expected to make his Major League debut until 2025. With Shea, he's expected to make his Major League debut in 2024. That has not happened yet. But these are two guys. These are the Astros' number 6 best prospect and number 29 to get Isaac Paredes. I think that's a fair offer. And honestly, in my opinion, if you saw the Astros, if you saw the prospects updated like I think they should be every 1 to 3 months, then I believe that A.J. Bluebaugh would still be in the top 6, maybe top 5, and then Shea Whitcomb would definitely be in the top 5 for how he has played in the minor leagues this year. It's been phenomenal for him. Now I want to go over to the other trade I think the Astros should make, and they've been linked to this player, or maybe these players. So, Isaac Paredes would be a great addition. You improve at first base. That is a big need, but pitching needs to be addressed for the Houston Astros. So let's go over it. So let's go to the Chicago Cubs. Jameson Taillon is someone I love to see the Astros add in. He's done a great job with the Chicago Cubs this year. He has a 7-5 record with a 2.96 ERA. He has 78 strikeouts this year, and he has a 58 winning percentage. He has one over his ERA at 2.96. He has a very good whip at 1.15. He's pitching 100 innings, giving up 21 walks with 78 strikeouts, barely gives up any walks. He also has given up 94 hits with 40 runs this year, 33 are earned runs. Now, here is my trade idea for Jameson Taillon. Let's go over it. So, I would like to see the Astros trade for Jameson Taillon, but also get another pitcher and a relief pitcher with him. And here's the pitcher I have in mind. This is a former Astro, and it is Hector Neris. Hector Neris this season, who, funny enough, was with the Astros for 2 seasons in 2022 and 2023. I think you could potentially squeeze him in this deal with Jameson Taillon. Hector Neris this year has switched to closer and has pitched in 38 games. He has a record of 8-3, a 3.8 ERA, pitching in 36 innings. He's given up 24 walks with 38 strikeouts, 31 hits, 16 runs, 15 earned runs, and has 14 saves. So here's the proposed trade. The Astros get Hector Neris and Jameson Taillon. The Astros send Luis Baez, their 16th best prospect in the deal, who is 20 years old, to the Chicago Cubs. He was signed in 2022 at 18 years old. And at 20 years old for the Houston Astros, he has done a great job this year at single A. Has a batting average of 270, an on-base percentage of 303. He has an OPS of 800. He's played 78 games. He has 17 doubles, 17 home runs, 59 RBIs, 19 walks, 8 stolen bases. Luis Baez is a very good prospect at only 20 years old. Now, what else would the Astros give up in this trade? The Astros would also give up one of their other best players right now that is playing in AAA to the Chicago Cubs, and that is Pedro Leon. Pedro Leon has been doing phenomenal this year in AAA for the Astros. This is another guy. It's really a shame that they don't update the prospects list too often, because the Astros, right now he's ranked as the 25th best prospect. I think the Cubs would love to have a guy like him who not only can he play second base, but he also plays in the outfield as well. He's 26 years old and has done a great job in the minor leagues this year. In AAA, has a batting average of 300, an on-base percentage of almost 400. His OPS is 900, 91 games, 362 at-bats, 61 runs scored, 108 hits, 21 doubles, 2 triples, 19 home runs, 74 RBIs, 36 walks, and 23 stolen bases. This is a guy who has 5 home runs in his last 10 games for the Astros AAA team. Now, it's not just Pedro Leon and Luis Baez that the Astros would give up. The Astros would also add in Chas McCormick, who is an outfielder for the Astros. Chas McCormick this season has been, I wouldn't say good, but Chas McCormick has struggled for the Astros this year. In 2024, Chas McCormick has a batting average of .211. He has 4 home runs with 21 RBIs and 60 games. In those 60 games, he has 166 at-bats with 35 hits, 5 doubles, 1 triple, 4 home runs, 21 RBIs. He has 14 walks. He has struck out 53 times with an average of .211, and his OPS is 600. So Chas has not been good this year. He's been okay this year, but in 2023 with the Astros, he had a batting average of .273. He had a batting average of .273, an on-base percentage of almost 400, an OPS of almost 900, with a total of 22 home runs, 70 RBIs, and also had 20 stolen bases for the Houston Astros in the 2023 season. It's just been an off year with Chas McCormick, where he's had a couple injuries that have held him back and has struggled at the plate this year. But maybe he could turn things around on a new team. And the Cubs have been a team. The Cubs have been a team that have showed interest in Chas McCormick before. Now, the final player that would head to the Chicago Cubs in this trade is J.P. France. J.P. France is a pitcher who was a top prospect for the Astros, but since he's played a bunch in the major leagues, he's been removed from the top prospect list. J.P. France has struggled this season in 5 starts. He is currently injured, but in 5 starts, he has a 7.46 ERA, pitching 25 innings, giving up 31 hits, 21 runs, 21 earned runs, 17 walks, and 5 home runs with 22 strikeouts. Those aren't good numbers, but I want to remind everybody, J.P. France in his 5 starts had some injury problems going on. A lot of things going on in this time. Was about to have a baby, had injury problems going on, and he was facing some pretty tough teams. I'm going to go over the 5 teams he went up against. He went up against the New York Yankees in his first start, which in March, April, the Yankees were doing great. The Yankees were one of the best offenses in the league. Went up against the Texas Rangers twice in a row in April. The Rangers are doing bad now, but the Rangers' offense in April was actually looking pretty good. And then went up against the Atlanta Braves in the middle of April. The Braves aren't looking as good as they were in April now, but they were looking pretty good in April. And then same thing goes with the Chicago Cubs, which he faced them in his last start, which the Chicago Cubs, funny enough, could be his new team. He struggled against them as well. He pitched 5 innings, giving up 5 runs. And, he went up against some good teams, which I know all those teams are doing a little bit worse, or maybe a lot worse than they are doing. They're doing a little bit or a lot worse than they're doing now compared to in April. But these teams all were doing good or solid in the month of April when J.P. France faced them. But I want to go over what he did in 2023 as a rookie, because that is important. He went 11-6 with a 3.83 ERA, 24 games, 23 starts. The Astros brought him in from AAA, and he became an immediate starter and started 23 games as a rookie with a 3.83 ERA. He pitched in 136 innings, giving up 138 hits, 64 runs with 58 earned runs, 19 home runs, and 47 walks with 101 strikeouts. J.P. France looked amazing as a rookie for the Houston Astros. So that kind of wraps up that trade and the Isaac Paredes trade. So in total review, the Astros would trade Shea Whitcomb, who's killing it in AAA, and AJ Bluebaugh. So 29th best prospect and 6th best prospect, when realistically, if the prospect list was redone, that'd be 2 top 10 guys for Isaac Paredes. And then Jameson Taillon to the Astros, alongside Hector Neris returning to the Astros for Luis Baez, Pedro Leon, Chas McCormick, and JP France. And what would the Astros team look like after that? The pitching would be revamped. The Astros starting rotation would have Jameson Taillon, Framber Valdez, Ronel Blanco, Hunter Brown, and hopefully, at least before the postseason, a healthy Justin Verlander and a healthy Luis Garcia. So that right there, if Garcia and Verlander get healthy and you pair him with Taillon, Valdez, Hunter Brown, and Ronel Blanco, that is a dirty 6-man rotation and has a lot of depth in the rotation if someone were to get injured. And then the bullpen gets better because not only do you have Ryan Presley and you have Josh Hader and Brian Abreu in that bullpen and Seth Martinez and Taylor Scott, but you add Hector Neris back with those guys, that makes this bullpen even more dangerous than it already is. And then you want to look at the offense. You bring in Isaac Paredes, he's your new first baseman. Of course, Jose Altuve is at second base still. Bregman's at third. Pena's at shortstop. At left field, that's a little bit shaky, but Jordan is most likely going to be in left field, but you could see him at DH as well. So in left field, you're going to probably see Mauricio Dubon. And center field, you're going to see Jake Myers. And right field, hopefully soon, you'll see a healthy Kyle Tucker. And then at DH, that's either going to be probably Jordan Alvarez or Mauricio Dubon, or you could see Joey Loperfido in that position as well. And then at catcher, of course, Yander Diaz, and you also have other options offensively like John Singleton, Victor Caratini. So the hitting would be a whole lot better adding in Isaac Paredes. And even though Chas McCormick has been playing a little bit better recently, removing Chas McCormick. So ultimately, the Astros trade deadline, in my predictions, and what I'd like to see them do, you add in Jameson Taillon, Hector Neris, and Isaac Paredes, and you get rid of JP France, Chas McCormick, Luis Baez, Pedro Leon, AJ Bluebaugh, and Shea Whitcomb. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section on the Astros trade deadline. What would you like to see the Astros do? If you like what you saw, please subscribe, and peace out. Go Astros.